Good day and welcome back. I know it's been a bit since I've put up a video, and I apologize. I ended up coming back and catching the plague, and that really kicked me off of my routine, and I honestly wasn't even able to think straight for quite some time. It really affected my ability to even interpret instructions. So I managed to get back to the shop and get a little bit of work in. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into that. Did get up to, I think, step 20. So we got some more work done on the undercarriage. I know where I left it. I know when I left the last one, we were talking about needing to make decisions on painting, and I didn't do that. I did get some more of the undercarriage pieces done, and we're going to talk through all of those here in a little bit. And then at the end, we'll kind of go into all that. So instead of just sitting here waffling, I'll just go ahead and we'll cut to it. Again, my apologies for the delay, and hopefully I can get back on my normal schedule. So let's take a look.
Okay, we're going to start off with an oops. This is one of those pieces where you put the same piece on the mirrored side on when you're building up the frame. And I got it upside down, and right below it you see a piece that goes on, and that's to hold a frame part on that goes over top of this drive shaft. And I got it backwards, so I had to undo it, re-glue it, and get it.
All right, just a little comment about complexity for complexity's sake. First thing, this one here, step 17, this piece right here, the implication is just put all this together, put it on. You need this piece in order to put this linkage on, right? So to get this linkage put in, you have to have that piece. You'll note I don't have that there. I don't have the rest of that there. I'm going to point you to a picture.
This little piece, that tiny hole. Make this.
Right? That's just going to stick out. I got this guy right here. Here we go. So this is it. That little tiny piece right there, it just sticks out into the air. I'm going to break it. That's going on later. I really don't know what they're thinking. That's just going to break. Because there's nothing here that it attaches to. When I do find a part that attaches to, we'll do it. Now there's these two wheel chock. They actually get mounted here, right? So these assemblies in a later piece here, later step. Where are you? Whoops, I went 2 pages. I'm going to do one. Right here. Let me get there. There we go. These two assemblies get mounted there. So I actually do need that. I thought wheel chocks, yeah, I don't need them. Yes, I did. So I went ahead and did them. But essentially it's complexity for complexity's sake. I mean, seriously. You put in this photo etch, that plate right there. You put on the 2 handles. Okay, the handles you'll see. Excuse me, I'm still fighting the plague. Then you put this piece in here. Excuse me, I'm still fighting the plague. Bit of a coughing fit. But then you go put this piece in here and seal it up. So you put that piece in. So this piece and this piece get put in. Well, once you have it together, you kind of see it. But, oh my gosh, really? I'm going to do it. Just because, hey, I could use a practice on photo etch, but oh my gosh, that's really, really, I don't know. I really feel like that's complexity for just being complex. Just, hey, let's make photo etch because we want to up our photo etch count. Because what you do is you take this part. This is the part that goes there. And I'm looking for this. And that goes this way, right? So that center piece, that goes right there. It finds its groove, which is there. And then you just kind of fiddle with it till you get it into the groove, and then seal her up. It takes a little bit to find it and get it, but then you seal that up, and then that's it. That's your assembly. You okay? We did it. Yay! But really? Anyway, I'll go ahead and finish that, and then I'll move on. Okay, so I've gone through, and I moved through steps 19, 20. I've started looking at 21, but let's go ahead and see where I picked up. Now, last thing I mentioned, right, that I didn't do. And then I talked about making these wheel chocks that are like, complicated just for complicated sake. So, next thing I've done is I moved on, dropped these on. Now, orientation, right? This is one of those things where I really want to point out, earlier in the video I did mention I had made a mistake, down here with this one, right, where I got the one backwards. Orientation really matters. Now you can click these things in and they fit fairly well, but there's some capability for these things to not necessarily be flush, because they could be oriented just canted a little bit, and that's something you really want to pay attention to. I'm finding that there's a lot of detail to this kit, and it's really cool and it looks really nice, but the thing is, it's really, really easy to get orientation off, right? Because for every joint, right, for every movable joint, you have a potential angle of difference. So you have a point here, you have a point here. So not only can they be up and down, but they can be back and forth and canted at each one of those points. So just getting these in so that they mesh where they're supposed to go, you really just kind of want to be careful. Once you put these guys on, get these edge pieces on, and then, give a look down, down the line, make sure you're squared away, and they're tight. Next step was making these, these are, what's the word I'm looking at? Photo etch, right? Those are PE pieces, right? Are you kidding me? I'm going to put a picture. Right? They're just flat pieces. They don't have markings to where you're supposed to fold them, so you just kind of wing it. Once again, why? It's, again, I feel like it's photo etch for photo etch sake and complexity for complexity's sake. It really doesn't make much sense to me. These little hooks, okay, those are pretty cool. That's these guys right here. They go in fairly well, and they hook in, but I mean, when I think about it, how detailed those little tiny pieces are. And then I look at the handles, right? Those PE handles. Why? And I'll point out something else down here in a minute. So did those, got those in, moved on to doing these, and then I pretty much realized that I'm now to the point where I need to prime. I know I mentioned this last video, but I finally decided, the heck with it, I'm just going to go ahead and prime this. So what I'm going to do, and I'll talk about this in a minute. Let me get through this and then I'll do it. So we did these two chassis parts. These are fuel tanks, right? So again, complexity for complexity's sake. Bend up at 45-degree angle, see how it's, up in there. I mean, these things are freaking tiny. And they're just a little tiny detail. And then you super glue these things on and you put them in. I mean, we're talking, right? That small. I mean, is the detail that really important? And I feel like they could have cast it. But it goes in, you get it done, no big deal. Then you go through, and again, this is, assembling this oil lubrication tank. It's multiple different parts to get this guy together. Whole bunch of little tiny, put this part over here, put this part over here, just getting all these things oriented. Again, it's take your time, you get it right, but it just seems like, does it really need to be that complex? Then doing these guys. And then here, this is the piece that really kind of drove it home to me. some of this stuff. So R15, these guys, and that is in this one, right? It's these little handles right here. So you've got a bunch of them, right? And they're really well molded. So why do I have those in plastic? And I have these little goobers in photo etch. So I feel like if those were in plastic, they'd go on and be easier to do. And then I don't have to deal with gluing on photo etch. I mean, I feel like, again, those little handles for the chocks are photo etch just for photo etch sake. So, okay. All right, enough whining. But like I said, those little handles there, where'd they go? And I know in the background you probably hear my daughter and my wife having a chat about a movie they're watching, so I apologize. Fortunately, this isn't ASMR, so. But, you know, those go on fairly well. They're really nicely detailed, so yay. When cutting these guys off, be careful. I do still need to go back and clean this up a bit. And I find that you have to clean up a lot. And there's a lot of cleaning up these little tiny pipes. And I intentionally waited till I got this glued on so that I could clean them up. And I did the same thing here. You know, I waited for cleaning up just so I could actually get to them without making a mess. So, got all those done. Then I got to where we go to put them on. And now I'm looking at this and like, okay. We're now to the point where if I get paint put down for this, I'm going to have bare spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime this, and I'm going to prime those. I'm going to prime these assemblies here, and then I will put them on, and then I will paint them. So I'm going to start making decisions I want to hit this with primer, but lightly, you know, just so I can get all the little nubbins and everything that are going to be hidden, and you'll only see it like weird angles where I will be able to get at it. Get that done, prime the other pieces, and then as we start putting, and as I can see now we start to put big chunks together. And then once I get through the next couple steps here, like we're doing this whole back piece, so you know, I can prime that and put it on. And once I get that on, and these bits and pieces on, I start working on the big chunks, then I can worry about actually painting it. I think that's how I'm going to handle it. So I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to leave today here with that much done. We will go ahead. I'm going to hit this with essentially a black primer just so I can get the shadows done, and you know, put off making the color choice again just a little bit. A little more cleanup, get this primer done, clean that up, and then we'll move on to the next step. We'll be putting these on, and that's what we'll start our next video with. So again, feel free to offer up any helpful suggestions. Again, just be polite. Again, I do apologize for having been away for a bit, and for now, there we go. I hope this is useful and entertaining, and until next time, happy modeling.